Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. Welcome, workforce. My name's Brian.
My name's Chris.
And today, Chris and I are going to be doing the Shadowbringers draft, in which we're going to be choosing our jobs that we're going to be focusing in on mastering to help also then produce out the guides for the channel throughout the expansion of Shadowbringers. And to kick it off, we're going to figure out who picks first. All jobs on the line. There is no holds barred. If you pick it, you can't play it. You gotta at least until maybe later in the expansion. So this is legit. This is going to be for all the marbles here. We're gonna roll
to make sure that we get all the guides out in a relatively timely manner. We just wanted to split it down the middle. Like, we should each only do half the jobs. Why are we double dipping on jobs?
So we thought this would be kind of
all the ones I don't like.
Well, I might take all the ones you like. It's like So we're rolling to see who actually picks first. So if it rolls a 1, 2, or 3, I go first. If it rolls a 4, 5, or 6, Chris goes first. Let's find out. And a 6. Okay, Chris, you have the first draft pick.
I think you gave me 1, 2, 3, but
no, I said 1, 2, 3. I go first.
Okay.
4, 5, 6.
Well,
you go
yes.
First.
So I mean, I'm gonna have to stay with my main for Stormblood, so I'm gonna have to start off with a warrior.
All right, so Chris gets himself a warrior main.
Gotta be sure.
There we go. All right, so you can see here visually, you'll see the jobs as they line up under the camera. Here, I'm going to start off with the Summoner Scholar, and they come as a pair because there's no reason for you to go and do all that work.
Okay, so I'll get to pick 2. I feel like I could be a total jerk here and steal Gunbreaker and Dancer, but that's definitely a dick move. So I think I will take Gunbreaker because that's the class I'm most excited to play out of the 2, and give you at least 1 round to pick Dancer here because I do still like you, and and then I'm gonna go ahead and secure a healer, so I'll take White Mage.
Oh no!
Gotta have those wings, man.
Gotta get those wings. I don't know why it wants to keep jumping. That's just random. Okay. Let's see here. This is tough. This is tough. I have to take Dark Knight. I have to take Dark Knight right off the bat. I know you gave me a spot for Dancer,
right,
but I can't.
He had his chance. He had his chance. I am taking Dancer.
He's get the new job
out of it.
Okay, so I've got my Summoner Scholar. I've got Dark Knight. Something Dark Knight. I am going to be taking Red Mage. As a caster.
Red Mage. So you're about to lock me out of casters. My main from 2.0 all the way until I switched to Warrior was Black Mage, so I'm going to go ahead and at least make sure I get a caster by taking Black Mage.
I was literally just thinking a second ago if I should really really screw you over. Like, I'm glad
he has all his level to 70. I don't.
Yeah.
Like, some of my melees are down at like whatever I needed for cross roll. They're like full 15, so I've got a lot of work here.
I'm going to grab Paladin. I really like if you got Warrior.
Oh, the tanks go 2 and 2.
Yeah, so 2 and 2 on the tanks. We're gonna split them.
Interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's super fascinating.
What should he pick?
I think I know where you'll go based on where I go here. I'm gonna go ahead and take Astro.
All right, that's a good choice. So you got. You actually taking the bulk of the healers because we didn't obviously get another healer this expansion.
I did.
Sorry, not trying to rub salt in the wound for healers.
But I got Dancer, so like I kind of got the 4th healer.
So here's where it gets challenging. Here's where it's like, like who do we get to pick last? I really enjoyed Bard last expansion, but I really enjoyed what I saw from the Monk as well as the Machinist. Now, Ninja and Samurai, both real strong. Dragoon, a really strong job. Ooh, what do I pick? Okay, I'm going to grab Machinist.
I knew I was like, I either grab Astro or Machinist. He's going to take the other one. I'm gonna take the Bard.
Oh!
I'm going to take the Bard. I was really excited with what they did with physical range. You and I have largely ignored physical range. Mm-hmm. I think that's going to be a big thing moving forward.
Okay, so if you grab Bard, I'm gonna.
Time for the melees. Can you guys tell what we don't like?
What?
and Blue Mage. Obviously, we're saving the best for last.
Saving the best for last. Saving. Blue. All right, I'm gonna grab Samurai.
Sucks to be you, Bod.
Sucks to be you. Sing me a song of how you suck, Bod.
You're grabbing Samurai. I'm gonna grab Dragoon.
Okay. And I'm gonna take Monk.
I figured you would.
I really enjoyed it from my hands-on time. I don't like. There's some wonky stuff going on with this Photoshop doc. It's like I have to drag it, and then just like I can't try to specifically place it, otherwise it wants to jump. So I don't know.
So when it comes to guides, just kind of reasoning out this last one here.
Yeah, I know.
Picking the last kid for kickball here. So when it comes to guides, what we're picturing is that each class will get a introduction, kind of going over the skills and what they mean and what you'd need to know, maybe a little bit of lore backgrounds, both a controller layout guide and a keyboard layout guide. So both of us will have to do something outside of our element. And then after kind of those things, a rotation guide has to be somewhere in there. After those 4, a series of opinion pieces, and then we'll be able to do collabs talking about like what's the best physical range right now, what's the best healer, what's the best class overall. Tier lists will become more collabs. So Blue Mage really doesn't operate in that. So Blue Mage kind of has to do their own guides, which means we've got to go back and clear the carnival. We've got to unlock all the skills, which I have not done some of the final fights. So can we agree before I pick this that whoever gets blue, that the other one will at least help fill slots for the primal fights?
Oh, yes. Yeah, we're not going to throw you the other person to the wolves. Sucks to be you, buddy. Sing me a song of how you suck.
Because I just know how tired I'm going to be after I level all these ones that say Chris next to him. Because I'm going pretty much in this order. Do we think we're getting another limited job this expansion?
I think we do. I think we are. Now, I don't think we are until towards the end of the expansion.
So we're not getting 2. You don't think that we'll get 2 this expansion? 1 at 5.3 and 1 at 5.57 or whatever.
I think if they're smart, they'll target it around 5.4. 5.4 tends to be the
5.4 was when Blue was supposed to be announced,
right? But it also is a content expansion, is a patch in which that it also tries to help bring up some of the other content that because like new players are coming in, and it's like if nobody's running certain content, like they want to make sure they try to incentivize things, and that ends up usually historically being the 0.4 patch, where like they obviously get the raid. There's a lot of stuff there. Blue ended up being delayed to the 5.5 patch, which wasn't necessarily bad, but imagine going from 0.4 to like let's say it's the 0.1 patch, like the 5.1 patch, where we finally get an expansion of Blue. Like goodness gracious, that's a long gap, and so hopefully they'll actually get into the cadence of where Blue patch over patch gets its level cap increased, and we know it's not going to max. We know it's not going to.
We know it's not going to max.
So it's going, and that's actually the bit like for people who are really disappointed they can't like that is like where. At the 0.5, once all the raids have been done, like I ultimately am like the biggest drawback for Blue is the fact that even at the end of the expansion, like they won't bring Blue up to that at that point. They won't bring the limited up at the end of the expansion, and because I'm fine with it doing that. But I guess I don't know. We'll have to see. So I think we're getting one. I think it's probably going to be Beastmaster, and that's going to happen. Probably around 0.4.
Pet changes make that a lot more possible within the kind of core programming of the game. Like one of the issues is they don't want to have to build a whole new pet system for a class like that, but the pet changes make that a lot more seamless. All right, I'm gonna take Blue.
Oh, he is going all the way. That gives me Ninja. There we go. Oh my gosh, that's actually kind of cool because like if they do a Beastmaster, because then
which would you have picked of the last 2?
Me? I was gonna pick Blue.
Okay.
I was gonna pick Blue. I don't like. Honestly, I think there's gonna be people like, why was like there's gonna be Ninja mains.
Oh, there's Ninja mains that are like, what the heck?
Well, obviously, which was kind of funny because it was like I was debating if I wanted to kind of go in and try to freak you out by like, oh, I'm gonna grab this. You're like, wait, he's changing up the game. Why did we pick out a melee? Like no, like literally it boils down to
I did want a melee. So if you had done like monk, samurai, dragoon. It's like, all right, I gotta take one.
What's
one.
Yeah, what's interesting I think about like our picks here and how it kind of all plays out is that the when we look at the casters and the healers, we kind of did a split one, like where, because you kind of have the three main casters, black mage, summoner, and red mage, and then white mage, astrologian, and scholar, that it's like it kind of, we end up like, you got two healers, I got one healer, I got two casters, you got one caster. So I think that will be interesting to see. We ended up splitting the tanks evenly, which I was like, I
was sad to lose Paladin. The gap closer's pretty cool.
I'm so excited. I was like worried that if I picked Dark, you'd pick Paladin. Like that's where I was
super interested in Dark for a long time, but I just know that you talk about it so much. So I was like, there's no way it's not higher in his list than mine.
Yeah, there was definitely Dark Knight, Paladin were two that I really wanted to get. And obviously, I couldn't risk. I was worried because you got the roll. I was like, you could have totally just screw me over and be like, yep, Summoner Scholar, baby. I am disappointed that you got Dancer. I'm jealous of that fact. The nice thing about the Dancer that you got, the fact that actually you got the two new jobs, they both start at 60. So when it comes down to it, from a leveling perspective, that's actually going to be a little bit more efficiency on you because I'm already staged. I've got all my jobs at 70 ready to rock and roll. And if you didn't get those two new jobs, you'd have a lot of jobs to level up. There'd be a ton more experience that you would have to go and gather. Okay, so I got a question for you, Chris. Go ahead.
Just to get in front of the comments, the way I want to tackle that is we've talked a lot about all the different ways to level, and my plan is to pick each of the ones that I have, say, sub 40, and really try to pick one way to level it. And so, like, I'm aware of how the deep dungeon leveling thing works. Mm-hmm. I've done deep dungeon before, but I've never rinsed and repeated deep dungeon until I wanted to pull my hair out, and I'd like to try it at least once. Yeah. Because my understanding is there's people out there that do it for all their jobs, and I'd like to at least taste how that's even possible. Yeah. So I'll pick each leveling method and kind of attempt it at least.
All right.
That's my plan.
So on that note, I was going to ask, like I said, when it comes down to it, like, are you going to be doing any kind of prep work for this now, right? There are jobs that you have that are lower level. Like, are you going to start working before Shadowbringers to start this? Or is this something that you're just going to start with Warrior on day one? Like, because there's no wrong answer. It's just a matter of, the goal.
Before we finish the draft, my plan was to cap out my last gatherer, which I got to the 60, and then I just kind of have been taking a break with the media tour and all that, and then was to cap out Dark Knight. Mm-hmm. I don't think I'm going to cap out Dark Knight now, because now I'd be capping it out to not touch it, because we kind of agreed you can't touch the other classes until the last of your guides is out on all the ones that you picked.
Right.
So I would have a level 70 Dark Knight that, like, I'm not really supposed to play until I have all these guides out. So I think I'll probably start on White Mage. Mm-hmm. I got my White Mage to 30 because I enjoyed PvP healing, and we always had plenty of healers for PvE as a group, and so the only time we were ever short healers was PvP. And then my White Mage, every bit of experience I've gotten on my White Mage since level 30 has been through PvP. So while my White Mage is higher than level 30, it hasn't done a single class quest. Its gear is way out of date, because PvP takes care of all that for you. You don't need class quests, you don't need gear. So I probably need to go at least clean up my White Mage so that it, like, functions in the open world. Mm-hmm. And make sure that all these classes have a decent gear set on them, now that I know, like, that pretty much all the rest of these classes can be ignored.
It does kind of take a little bit of the pressure off. I'm really started. So my process is going to be Summoner Scholar is going to be working on it first. Like, that's what I'm going to take through the story. It's going to be interesting because I can't use Titan to tank anymore. That's going to be something that'll be kind of interesting to see how that feels, because even from a solo perspective, I'd have Titan, who's my tank, I'd have my Chocobo, and I always kind of felt like just a one-man army in that case, because, can't bring Truster squads, or, I can bring Chocobos, like, let's go. But if with the change, it's going to be neat to see if that ends up impacting my overall, like, enjoyment of going through the story. It obviously shares the XP bar with Scholar, so that's going to help with that perspective, and then obviously learning both of those roles right off the gate. And so, like last time, that's going to be where I focus. Then I think I'm going to shift to Dark Knight and Paladin and get those finished, and then I'm going to focus Red Mage. Probably after that, Monk or Machinist, and then Samurai Ninja. probably be a toss-up. We'll probably look for the feedback of the community so that it's like once I kind of get to like, okay, phase 1's done, like let me know where you want me to focus, because I think if we were teaming up together, like if you're working on a tanking on a tank and getting that XP, like I want to be bringing like a melee DPS or something of that nature. But then there's also the trust system, which can help if one of us is like, I'm not playing right now because I'm asleep.
Yeah, I think the trust system's going to help a lot. It does make sense that like with the healers and the tanks that we at least, it's a little bit of a wasted. If you bring your scholar and I bring my warrior, that's a little bit of a wasted queue time.
Yeah.
We're definitely getting in. I'm a little nervous about the keyboard controller guides. Back when we did this, it made sense, but like I don't play with this thing.
Well, that's I think is going to be really neat because like you can help me on the keyboard mouse side of it, and I can help you on the controller side of it. But then I think also it's going to be interesting to see is that what is your take on it? Because the goal is how do I like if you know how to play it on keyboard and mouse, like how can I translate this to where I'm actually effectively doing well? Because controller is all about muscle memory, so it'd be really cool to see your perspective as well. And then essentially, if we all get this knocked out, and it's August, I don't.
It'll teach me the job better to be able to play it on both keyboard and mouse, because I know that tank having run as a black mage and having run as a warrior in the same expansion, I feel much more comfortable in Stormblood dungeons if I'm in a pug and nobody else knows the dungeon. Like a lot of times in the older content, I'm like, they're like, what do I do now? And it's like, I don't know. I've run this a dozen times and I have no idea what the next step is. It's not an obvious path. They're like, oh, what are the mechanics for this boss fight? I was like, I don't know. I only know what I'm supposed to do. And having played on 2 roles, it made me a lot better at paying attention in content from now on. So I'm wondering if this will make me better at kind of understanding my rotation and remembering skill abilities. I don't always remember skill abilities. I'm like, yeah, and then you do the blue one. Like with the blue button, it's down to A. I don't know. So I'm wondering if this will help me kind of do a better job remembering. I'm bad with names in real life, so like it just carries over.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if this will help me. Brian's always like, I love how in Dungeon Guide you're always like, and then you kill the frog boss and don't get hit by the rain. And it's like, I like how you have all these like names for things. That's just because I don't know the real names. I don't know the skill abilities. I don't know the boss's name. I just know what it looks like.
and Lord help you if you're a good guy and you look like a boss that Chris has ever tried to beat. Like, I know I need to kill that thing. Like, it's over here.
I gotta kill it.
All right, guys, that's our Shadowbringers draft. Let us know what you think about any of these picks, what you're excited to see, what you're looking forward to in Shadowbringers, and we're looking forward to having that conversation with you. But for Work to Game, my name is Brian.
My name's Chris.
Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Take care.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. Welcome, Workforce, to the draft for Shadowbringers. I'm Brian.
My name's Chris.
And we're going to be doing a draft for the Shadowbringers Jobs. No, I'm going to read. Shadow. I haven't recorded today, so I haven't got all my flubs out.